All right, everyone. So I'm going to give you my recap here for today, Monday morning, back in the saddle, and a small green day, $356.25. I only took one trade today, and this could have easily been a no trade day because there really wasn't anything that was that great. But UNCY was our leading gapper, gapping up over 100%. Let's see, it gapped 187%, is currently up 165%. And at the open, you can see here we got a red to green move. And that was my only trade. I traded the red to green move and locked up $356. The problem with this stock is that, and with stocks of this price range, my problem is that the moves are kind of small. They trade in a narrow range. So to make good money, you've got to trade pretty big share size. And if you trade with big share size and you have the misfortune of catching a big flush, you can suddenly be down $3,000 or $4,000 or $5,000. So it feels like the risk to reward for me isn't great on them. I've also heard short sellers, a few mention that the risk to reward isn't great for them either because they're already so cheap. I mean, the lowest something can go is 0. So when something's at 80, 90 cents, it's already a pretty cheap stock. And when these ones do squeeze, and sometimes they do, like AM is moving up a little bit here today. These can be, this one started down at 88 cents and it hasn't gone back. It just stayed this high. So all of a sudden, it's up 800% from the lows. This one is a little annoying to me. I traded it on Friday. It didn't want to stick. It kind of was struggling. And then today, now from 650 to 750 up to 8. That's probably one of the cleaner moves today. But, the challenge, I think, for me was that there wasn't anything that was obvious and attention felt dispersed. I saw a lot of people talking about UNCY. But I also saw a lot of people talking about BBIO. Some other people were focusing on GNS, which was a continuation setup. And then MSGM popped up, but that was short-lived. It didn't last for very long. Pretty nasty rejection there. AZUL, some traders were talking about that one. So it just felt like attention was really dispersed today. And those are the types of days where I find that I'm having a hard time focusing because it's like I'm jumping from stock to stock to stock. I don't have enough windows. And then all of a sudden I see something and I'm like, I start getting frazzled. I missed this one. I missed that one. I missed that one. Because you're just sort of jumping from stock to stock. But then by the time you see it, it's already starting to pull back. And if you finally just jump in, then you might find yourself getting in too high. And because attention is dispersed, people aren't really focusing on that individual stock all that much. So anyways, I kind of figured today, just start the week off with a small green trade. I kind of like to think about more than just red and green days, red and green weeks. So I was flat last week, although I was red on Thursday and Friday. I was also green nicely on Monday and Tuesday. And so rather than get bent out of shape that I was red, on Friday and try to make back that loss, I was like, well, why don't we stop here before I go red on the week? A break even or a small green week is fine. The week before that was a nice big green week. The week before that was a red week. So I've been in a little bit of a churn. You can actually see this is my P&L here for the year. So, made some nice progress and then pulled back a little bit. It's kind of just is what it is. It's the last 30 days or so. But again, green week, and then this was a red week when I had this pullback. And then I had kind of a sideways week or a small green week and then a bigger green week. And then last week started on the 27th and 28th. So it was like a break even week, actually small red week. But again, it's like negligible. So it's flat more or less. So my thought here for this week is to try to just be patient so I can have this P&L curl back up, next leg higher. And that means on a day like today, recognizing pretty early that it doesn't feel like it's happening, and today's probably not the day that I'm going to put in, a nice big green candle on my P&L chart. So maybe just reduce the risk and sit tight. So that was the plan for today. That worked well, and I'll be back at it first thing tomorrow morning. Hopefully, I'll sit down and see a better gap scan than what we had this morning. But some days are going to be better than others. Again, like I said, this could have been a no trade day, and it would have been my first no trade day of the year. But I broke the ice with one trade on UNCY. So I have not had any no trade days yet this year, you know, which for me would be a day where I show up looking to trade and there's nothing and I take 0 trades. So today was the closest call, but I did still end up getting 1 trade. All right, that's it for me. Reminder, as always, trading is risky. My results aren't typical, and there's no guarantee you'll find success. Whether you trade on your own, you'll learn from me. So take it slow and practice in a simulator before you put real money on the line. I'll be back at it first thing tomorrow morning.